Imagine waking up in a place where silence is not just the absence of sound, but a physical presence, where the white of snow covers streets, houses, trees, and thoughts, and where, for a few seconds, you are not sure whether you are starting a new day or simply repeating the previous one. In some regions of the Northern Hemisphere, this is not an exception. It is routine. For weeks, the world becomes smaller. The door opens with difficulty. Cold enters before light. The horizon disappears. The sky turns into an undefined shade of gray. Gradually, streets stop being paths and become obstacles. Meetings turn into messages. Plans turn into distant possibilities. Life begins to happen almost entirely indoors. Not because someone chose it, but because nature decided. At first, there is a strange sense of pause, as if the world had pressed a waiting button. Then the body adapts, but the mind begins to feel. Concentration decreases. Time loses shape. Days blur together. Motivation fluctuates without any clear reason. It is not exactly sadness. It is not exactly exhaustion. It is a kind of silent erosion, caused by repetition, by lack of stimulation, by absence of variation. When the world becomes too quiet, the mind begins to speak louder. Without traffic, without noise, without constant interruptions, thoughts gain space. Some are light, others are old, others have been avoided for years. And many people discover, in these periods, that they were not used to living with themselves for so long. Curiously, the opposite extreme produces similar effects. Prolonged heat waves, excessive sunlight, restless nights, bodies permanently on alert. The mind becomes more impatient, emotions become unstable, thinking becomes tired. Discomfort changes its form, but it does not disappear. In modern societies, we learn to believe that almost everything can be managed. Schedules, routines, productivity, results. Until a snowstorm closes roads, a drought paralyzes regions, a storm interrupts systems, an extreme heat wave alters behavior. And suddenly it becomes clear that control was always partial. Perhaps the greatest impact of hostile climates is not in the cold, in the heat, or in practical difficulty. Perhaps it lies in what they reveal. They show how we react when external rhythm disappears, when progress slows, when life stops being expansive and becomes concentrated. They show how much we depend on movement to avoid listening too closely to our own thoughts. Human history is not the history of comfort. It is the history of adaptation. People of the cold learn to preserve heat. People of the desert learn to preserve water. Cities learn to live with storms. Families learn to live in isolation. And alongside the body, the mind also learns. It learns to wait, to reorganize priorities, to find meaning in smaller routines. The climate changes, the seasons change, conditions change, and quietly we change with them. We may not notice it in daily life, but after a long winter, an extreme summer, a period of isolation, we are rarely exactly the same. The question is not whether the environment will transform us. That is inevitable. The question is what kind of person these conditions are shaping us into.